Hi folks, the Filipina here. And today I'm going to do something I've never done before. I don't really do reaction videos, but a few days ago, someone sent me a TikTok video of a Western woman complaining about men, so I checked it out. And the next thing I knew, I was falling down the rabbit hole. So today, I'm going to give you a Filipina's thoughts on some of this stuff and react to crazy TikTok videos as I try to figure out what the heck is wrong with some of your women over there. So let's see what this feminism stuff is all about. Can you explain it to me, Emma?
This is a fundamental and complete misunderstanding of what feminism is. Feminism is about equality and choice. It's about a woman being able to say, I'm going to wear a dress, or I don't want to wear a dress, or I want this kind of future, or I don't want that kind of future. It's about the ability to choose. I think there's so many misconceptions and misunderstandings about what that is.
Well, I think we already solved the problem, guys. It's all just a big misunderstanding. It's just about equality and choice, equal rights for men and women, and the right to wear a dress? You mean the patriarchy won't let you wear a dress? I don't know about your country, but I can wear a dress anytime I want, see? And I even get to choose my own career, too. Wow, you Western women must have it really bad. Let's see what other horrible things those awful men are doing to you over there.
I was at a Whole Foods table outside, minding my business at night, and this black guy decides to hand me a hormone balance brochure. I think he wanted to talk to me under the guise of giving me some promotional information, you know.
Oh no, not the old hormone brochure trick. Those nasty men with their pocket full of pamphlets. They're just trying to get you nice and fertile before they can take advantage of you. Run, lady, run!
I think it's a guise for what men like to do to get a woman's attention. Men seem to like to get a woman's attention.
Yes, men like to get a woman's attention. How else are they gonna get you to read the brochure? So it surprises you that guys have to get a woman's attention in order to talk to her?
Like, as if they're entitled to that attention. It's not so much shooting a shot as it is entitlement. Sometimes you just got to let people be. It's not like you passing up the moment of the best thing that you could have ever had in your life at a gas station.
Oh, I see. They're entitled to it. So if a guy dares to interact with you, he's automatically entitled. But they wouldn't try to shoot their shot until after you've had your hormones anyway, right? So you're safe. And what's wrong with gas stations? Unless guys are walking up and saying stuff like, can I feel your tank? That's just as good as anywhere else to meet somebody. Okay, so rule number 1, do not approach a woman to talk to her. Okay, got it.
Last night was Friday, and I go and I get gas. This guy was trying to hit on me about my Apple sticker, and he's like, so you got an Apple, I got an Apple, can I call your Apple? And I said, no. Yeah, I told him no in front of his friend that was in his seat, that was in his car with him.
What's up with you and gas stations? Okay, so other than being really proud of yourself for shooting him down, what else did that nasty man do? Did he pin you against your car? Beat you with a fistful of pamphlets? Please, girl, don't keep me hanging.
I made it out of that situation safely. Think about that.
Lady, that's the most horrifying story I've ever heard. Are you okay? Did you go to the police? I gotta say, you're one brave woman. I sure hope this next lady hasn't been so mistreated. Shame on you, men.
I have a question for you guys. What's going on with guys not approaching women anymore?
Wait a sec. The last lady said,
Like, if I make eye contact with you and you're checking me out and you're staring at me for like 10 minutes, I don't know, maybe stop being creepy and come up and say hello?
so if they're creepy and staring at you from a dark corner for 10 minutes, you want them to come up and say hello?
I don't know. Food for thought? Like, why aren't you guys approaching women anymore?
Because you tell them not to?
Like, I was at a bar.
Of course you
and
were.
everyone is in their own groups, not approaching strangers. Like, not one guy, not even just for me, not one guy went up to a girl and just started talking to her. It was so weird. And I'm like, how am I supposed to meet people?
Well, you're a strong, independent woman, right? Why is it the man's job to make the first move? Wouldn't that be entitled? Okay, so rule number 2. Do approach a woman, but only if you're creepy and you stare at her first. Okay, so on to the next injustice.
We need feminism because a man in a room full of women is ecstatic, while a woman in a room full of men is terrified.
Western women are terrified of being in a room full of men? What do they do to you in those rooms? Do they, talk to you? And a man in a room full of women is ecstatic? You've obviously never been in a room full of gossiping Filipinas. What else you got?
I like that men have trust issues because we wear makeup, and the rest of us have trust issues because men try to kill us in the street.
Men try to kill you in the street? What the heck is going on over there? Are there piles of bodies in the road? Like they have to use a big snowplow to push all the dead women to one side so you evil men can go for your morning jog? Things are worse than I thought. Rule number 3. Don't slaughter women in the street. Got it.
Isn't it interesting when men have women in their lives, young women like daughters, cousins, nieces?
Not particularly. We have plenty of those.
And they attempt to justify boasting about their daughters, cousins, nieces, blah, 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 any young female in their life by getting them into hyper masculine or things that they associate to be masculine things like, oh, she's a scrapper, we'll get her into MMA,
No, I didn't know. The men are taking their daughters and making them fight each other and turning them into men. I had that all backwards. I heard that you were taking your men and turning them into little girls. You just can't trust the news these days.
They have to put her into some sort of little masculinity box in order to approve of her, in order to boast about her.
And they put them in little boxes? Masculinity boxes? I've heard about those. They're toxic. The poor things.
And the irony in that is that, they think they're not being sexist because they let them do boy things or teach them to do boy things. But it's all misogyny.
Misogyny. I knew it. So they won't love their little girls until they become men. Diabolical.
I'm sure we all already knew this by now, but old men are actually so fucking disgusting. Repulsive.
Well, no, I didn't know that because I come from a culture where the elderly are treated with respect.
So I'm at work today and this old man comes up directly behind me, like 3 inches behind me, and doesn't say anything until I turn around and I'm like, hi, and he goes, hi, is that your real hair? And at this point, I take a step away from him because he is in my bubble, okay, in my f***ing bubble. Anyways, I was like, yep, my real hair, and he goes, wow, it's so nice and long. It's not like that fake hair that they use to make their hair, those other girls use to make their hair longer, right? And I was like, no, it's my real hair, yep. Like, why is this man talking to me about my hair? It would have been fine if he was just like, you have nice, pretty hair, or whatever, and just went along about his fucking day, but it doesn't stop here.
So when old men stood too close to you and complimented your hair, why do you have the feeling if it was young and good looking, this wouldn't be an issue so far? Am I right?
And then he goes, wow, so it is real? Can I touch it? And then proceeds to start reaching for me and taking a step closer to me. So I take another step back. Said, no, you cannot touch my hair. I was very firm with this man.
Believe it or not, I hear the same thing all the time, sometimes even from old men. You have such beautiful long hair. Is that natural? And you know what I say? Thank you. And yes, it is. And if someone wants to touch it, that depends on where I am at the time. Like if it's a brightly lit public place, I might even say yes, especially to an old man who can't overpower me. So if you ever see me on the street and we start talking and you say, you have such amazing hair, can I touch it? I'll probably say, sure, as long as you don't start moaning as you caress it.
The shit he said next almost made me throw up, dude. He goes, damn, well, I just love girls with long, pretty hair. It's just so nice and sexy and easy to grab. The woman was too stunned to speak, quite literally. I had no idea what to say to this, so I kind of just went, haha, okay. And And then he goes, "Are you sure I can't touch it?" And I was like about to fucking scream, dude. I looked him dead in the eyes and said, "No, but you have a good day." And turned around and walked away as fast as I fucking could.
Okay, if that's what happened, and I'm not saying it's not, and the guy came at you like Frankenstein and was saying stuff like, "Damn, that's sexy, I want to pull it," right in the middle of a store, then that's entirely inappropriate. And I would have been firm with him too. But you know what I wouldn't do? Run home to make a TikTok video and tell the whole world about my near-death experience. But that's just me.
Old men are gross.
Now, why'd you feel the need to add that? Because you had a bad experience with an elderly person? It means that all older men are gross? Talk about generalizing. And once again, if this had been a younger, good-looking guy, would you be saying all young men are gross? I didn't think so. So if it's so bad over there, why do you propose to fix things?
This is why tampons and pads should be free.
Oh, I like free stuff, doesn't everybody? The problem is, nothing's actually free. It just means other people have to pay for it. But let's see how you justify it. Maybe you'll convince me.
Reason number 1 is the homeless community. If pads and tampons were free, it would help them save their money and be able to afford maybe food or clothes, other important necessities in life.
I don't mean to sound gross, but when I was growing up, we didn't even have stuff like that. We literally used a rag that we reused. Having tampons is not something we consider a human right.
Reason number 2 is the fact that we do not actually choose to have periods. They are natural.
So because you didn't choose to have it, that means everyone else should pay for it? I didn't choose to have teeth, so you want to pay for my toothpaste?
Reason 3 is that free condoms are literally everywhere.
And free birth control pills are available in a lot of places too, at least in the Philippines. But what do contraceptives have to do with tampons?
Reason 4 is that they are very hygienic, they keep us clean, and they keep our clothes clean, and they make us feel more comfortable in our own skin during these awful days of our period.
So everyone should chip in to keep you comfy? Air conditioning keeps my clothes from getting sweaty and keeps me more comfortable during those horrible summer days. Want to pay for my electric bill?
Reason 5, they are just as necessary as toilet paper. Yeah.
Food is even more necessary, but I don't see anyone paying my grocery bill.
Reason 6 is eliminating embarrassment. Surprisingly, going up to a cashier with a box of tampons can be very embarrassing sometimes.
Oh, well, now you convinced me. We can't have you getting embarrassed. Talk about first world problems.
Reason 7 is that they are an extra expense that people without periods do not have to pay.
Electric razors are an expense that people without facial hair don't have to pay. And your point is?
Finally, pads and tampons are not a luxury item. They should not be taxed as such. They are a necessity.
That's the same reason you give for number 5. It's a necessity. But once again, half of the things you buy are necessities. Should all that be free too? Sorry, I changed my mind. I'm not convinced. Any other ideas?
There are 4 reasons why financial feminism is so important.
Financial feminism? What fresh hell is this?
Women earn 81.6 cents for every dollar that men earn.
Oh, that a load of crap. I could do a whole video on that nonsense, but anyone with a first grade education knows that's baloney. They took the total amount earned by men and compared it to the total amount earned by women. But they didn't factor in things like men working more hours, getting more overtime, and getting paid for more dangerous jobs. Plus the fact that more women choose lower paid jobs like kindergarten teachers. It's equality of opportunity, not equality of outcome.
Women live 6 to 8 years longer than men and therefore need more money saved for retirement.
Then women have an extra 6 to 8 more years to earn money for retirement. Aren't you lucky? Why penalize men for something that's an advantage to you? I bet men would love to live another 8 years, unless they have to listen to crap like this.
Women are much more likely to put their careers on hold to be caregivers for the family.
Is anyone forcing them to do that? What was all that talk about choice? And correct me if I'm wrong, but you're gonna suck the cash right off your man if your marriage ends, so what's the problem?
And 61% of millennial women leave major financial decisions up to their spouse.
You mean 61% choose to leave major financial decisions up to their spouse? I thought having a choice is what this was all about. And besides, that's not far off from 50-50, so what's the big deal?
So let's normalize talking about money as women so that we can advocate for change and support each other.
Well, sure, talk about money all you want, but what is it you want to change? You want to live 8 years less or have your husband stay at home with the kids? I don't get it. And I think women already talk about money. In fact, they talk about it a lot, but they don't talk about earning it. they talk about taking it.
How much should your engagement ring cost? So I suggest two things. Number one, you demand a 3-carat or above ring that ranges anywhere from $20,000 to $50,000.
Demand? Demand a $50,000 ring? And what do you offer in return? And men are the entitled ones just for talking to you?
And if he can't do that, demand a ring the equivalent price of his car. That way, if he ghosts you, you can resell that item and get back some of that lost time and start over with a new man.
Just how much do you think your time is worth? Are you charging by the hour? You know what they call that, don't you?
If he cannot afford that, think about how can he be a stable future husband or father.
So if a man can't plop down 50 grand right off the bat, that means he won't make a good husband or father? Is this a joke?
You can work for 20 plus years and maybe make $10 million, or you can get married and make $20 million instantly.
You think you can make $10 million in 20 years? That's $500,000 a year. Doing what? Brain surgery? And you think you can find a guy worth $20 million that's gonna marry you? I heard women's standards were getting ridiculous, and I guess I heard right, because that's ridiculous.
Having a starter husband is a form of social climbing and building your fortune.
No big deal. Just marry a guy you plan to divorce once you find a better target. That sounds logical and a smart investment strategy. You should give seminars.
Basically, what happens is a woman marries just for money, and then they're together for a few years, they get divorced, and she takes half of everything. And then she repeats the process. Once you're rich, it's easier to marry rich, and they just keep marrying rich until they're just rich by themselves.
I think there's a word for that. You know that word that a lot of you women say doesn't exist? Hypergamy. Are there any of you that aren't bloodsuckers?
Females act like men is just the problem. They walk around saying men ain't nothing and blame them for everything. But really, it be the females. It be the females causing all the problems. It be the females that be making the men act how they act. It be the females that be doing that stuff and then they just want to blame it on the men.
Okay, it's kind of ironic that the least articulate woman is the one I happen to agree with, but it is what it is. Okay, so let me see if I can summarize this for you. You shouldn't approach a woman if she's by herself unless she wants you to, but never approach her if you're an old guy unless you're really good looking and rich. Be prepared to hand over your life savings so that she can divorce you and move on to the next guy. That about cover it? I gotta admit, you women had me worried with creepy guys chasing you with brochures and putting you in boxes and murdering you in the streets. But now you've just gone off the deep end. It sounds to me like you just want everything given to you for free, and it's more about the money than the man. Why would a guy want any of you? What's in it for him? I didn't hear a single one of you talk about love or companionship, just what he can do for you. Well, I finally have my answer as to why men come to the Philippines, and if you still don't get it, just watch this video again and see if it sinks in. If you like this video and want me to do another one, just let me know in the comment section, and if you see a TikTok video you want me to use, just post the link and I'll take a look. Well, that's it for this episode, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll be back in 3 days with something completely new. And while you're watching my Friday's video, I'll be on my way to Thailand, so I'll see you there with a whole bunch of interesting things to show you. Till next time, folks. If you think about it, I'm kind of like your stewardess, making sure you stay in an upright position during the video and guiding you to the exits. The exits of all your worries about life in the Philippines. The captain has asked that you please give a thumbs up on this video and subscribe to this channel. And for your entertainment, we have a selection of other in-flight movies for you to enjoy. In the case of an emergency landing, place your head between your knees and kiss your ass goodbye. Have a nice flight!